Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, an insight. Episode 135. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our Sadguru Sai. By the divine grace of Sai, an attempt has been made to translate the gist of the divine discourse of Sri Ramanathan brother telecasted in Sai TV. This is purely done to share the glory of Sai and his divine teachings with more insight to the aspirants. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. In the previous episode, we discussed that Sri Sainath Maharaj named Damu Anna's oldest son as Daulat Shah, and later Damu Anna also gave a name to him, and that was Dattatreya Damodar Rasane. None knew if Damu Anna was aware of the import this name carries or if it was a sheer coincidence. The significance of the name Dattatreya has been already discussed in detail in the earlier episodes. Hence, I would just like to highlight that the word Datta means given, and in this context, it is very appropriate to call Daulat Shah as Dattatreya because he was given by the Lord Sri Sai Maharaj to Damu Anna through the Amra Leela or mango miracle. Damu Anna might have given the name Dattatreya to his son as they could be the followers of the Datta Sampradaya. As Dattatreya Damodar Rasane was born out of the boon given by Sri Sai Baba, he was in a higher level in the spiritual ladder and became an elevated soul. In Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, we don't find details about Dattatreya Damodar Rasane alias Nana Sahib Rasane, but the divine experiences bestowed by Sri Sainath Maharaj to him are mind-boggling. Hence, it is inexorable for all Sai devotees to know the connection that he had with Sri Sai Maharaj. The grace of Sri Sai upon him was immense that he has constructed a temple in Pune at Shivaji Nagar, and the most thrilling part is that the tooth of Sri Sai Maharaj is kept in this temple. Nana Sahib Rasane is considered as one of the most fervent devotees of Sri Sai and has rendered exemplary services to his Guru and God Sri Sai Baba. Let me briefly give his journey with Sri Sai Baba now. As a small boy, he was taken to Shirdi and his tonsure ceremony was done there. He was so blessed that Sri Sai placed this young boy on his lap, held his small fingers and initiated him to learning by writing the alphabets on the slate, and the word Sri Sai wrote was Hari on the slate, thus commencing the learning process known as Akshara Abhyasam. After this ritual, he was admitted in a school in Shirdi. The family had unswerving faith on Sri Sai Baba. When Dattatreya was a young boy of 7 years old, he went to Shirdi and was massaging Sri Sai Baba's foot. At that time, possibly someone would have offered sweets to Sri Sai Baba, and as he loves children, he began to distribute sweets with his own hand to the children present. Naturally, Dattatreya's attention turned to the sweets and he was not focusing on his service of massaging the divine feet of Sri Sai Baba. At that moment, Dattatreya's mother was at his side. She noticed the sluggish behavior of her son and immediately started beating him, saying, "You are thinking of sweets and neglecting the service of Baba." In no time, Sri Sai Maharaj got enraged and shouted at her thus, "You old woman, why do you beat the boy?" Dattatreya's mother requested him to give her son a good desire to perform service to Sri Sai Baba. He answered, "The boy will serve me well. God will endow him with pure desires. Do not fear. Do not beat him." Needless to say that Sri Sai Maharaj kept his words by taking care of Dattatreya and elevating him into a self-realized soul. Subsequently, when Dattatreya Damodar Rasane was 12 years old, he had a desire to have Sri Sai Baba's darshan, so immediately he set out on a journey to Shirdi along with his elder cousin. As they were affluent, the boys had 100 rupees in their pocket and came to Shirdi. When they came for darshan, Sri Sai asked them for dakshana. First 10 rupees, then 15 rupees, so on. He kept asking them until they were left with just rupees 25 in their pocket. Now, the boys were worried as they need these 25 rupees for their return journey and might not have any money to give dakshana for Sri Sai Baba. So, the cousin brother decided to write a letter to their parents at Ahmednagar. He wrote to them saying, "We are just left with 25 rupees. Therefore, we need some money to pay dakshana for Sri Sai and for our travel expenses." Meanwhile, when they went for darshan, Sri Sainath Maharaj again asked dakshana of rupees 25, not from Dattatreya Damodar Rasane, but from his cousin brother. The boy told Sri Sai Baba that they don't have any money to give as they have exhausted all the funds and have just money to travel home. Immediately, Sri Sai snapped thus, "Never try to dupe me. You have rupees 25 in your pocket. First, give me that. You already wrote a letter to your home asking them to send money order, which will reach you by tomorrow. So now, give this money to me." Devotees, the boys never told anyone about their letter to Ahmedabad. None knew that there was only rupees 25 in their pocket. But the omniscient Sri Sai Maharaj knew everything, and the moment the boys heard the response of Sri Sai, they were dumbstruck. The cousin brother of Dattatreya Rasane offered the remaining rupees 25 as dakshana to Sri Sai. Thus, all the money brought by the kids were emptied in the presence of Sai. The next day, as anticipated, the money order reached them and they went home with that money. This miracle of Sri Sai Maharaj created a deeper impact in the mind of Damu Anna. Of course, he is not new to those divine plays of Sri Sai, as he has witnessed many while he was brought to Shirdi by his father Damu Anna. Years rolled by and Dattatreya grew into a young adult. Proposals for his marriage began to come, and in this connection they received few girls' horoscopes. Whenever any important decision must be taken, then Damu Anna would do so only after consulting with Sri Sai Maharaj. Now they received 4 horoscopes and he was in a fix as to which one to be selected for his son. As usual, he decided that he will consult with Sri Sai and go by his choice. Damu Anna himself can analyze the horoscopes and pick the one that suits his son the best. But that is not why he took it to Sri Sai Maharaj. He was certain that Sri Sai is omniscient and knew the past, present, and future of a person, can decide the match that is more suitable for Dattatreya Damodar Rasane. Now, out of the 4 horoscopes of the girls, one of them belonged to a very rich girl, and her parents were prepared to even give dowry from rupees 2,500 to rupees 3,000. In those days, this is a very big amount. Now, all the 4 horoscopes were placed in front of Sri Sai, and Sri Sai Baba picked up one among them, and that belonged to a girl whose economic status was very poor. Though in the previous episode we listened that Damu Anna in his earlier years was interested to do other businesses to improve his standard of living, but still at this juncture he never had any such thought and readily agreed to abide by the choice of Sri Sai. He didn't bother about the economic status of this would-be daughter-in-law's family and arranged for Dattatreya Damodar Rasane's wedding with that girl. Thus, Dattatreya married the girl blessed by Sri Sai Maharaj, and he was guided by Sri Sai Baba at every walk of his life. The marriage was to be held at Pandharpur, and both father and son invited Sri Sai Maharaj and beseeched him to come for the wedding. Sri Sai Baba spoke thus: "Do not fear, I am with you. Whenever you think of me, there I am with you." Damu Anna pestered Sri Sai to attend the wedding, but Sri Sai Baba declined the request and said, "Without God's permission, nothing can be done by me, so I cannot come. Instead, I will send Shama to attend the function on my behalf." In few years, Dattatreya Damodar Rasane had 3 children, 2 girls and a boy, but unfortunately all of them died as babies owing to seizures. Dattatreya's wife became very weak after 3 deliveries. Both husband and wife were worried and shattered. Dattatreya went to Shirdi and pleaded Sri Sai Maharaj thus: "Baba, rather than blessing us with many children with short span of life, can you please not give me one child with long life?" That night, while he was sleeping, there he was blessed with a dream vision in which Sri Sai said, "You are grieving for your son's death, but this child was born in a horoscope constellation which is harmful to the parents," and showed him a vision in which he saw a circle as bright as the sun around the breast of Sri Sai Baba. Inside that sun-like image, Sri Sai was sitting with Dattatreya's deceased child on his lap and said, "I took away this dangerous child from you. I will give you a good child. Do not fear." Dattatreya returned to his home in Pune after this dream vision, and in fact, he didn't even remember the child's birth star. As soon as he reached home, he picked up the horoscope book of his son, and to his astonishment, he found the name of the horoscope star that was mentioned by Sri Sai Baba in his dream in Shirdi. He was overpowered by emotions, thanked Sri Sai heart to heart for showering his mercy upon him and his family by taking away the child, that would harm their existence and promising to give another to compensate this loss. How did Sri Sai fulfill his promise to Dattatreya Damodar Rasani? How did Dattatreya's family tree expand? And what did Pujya Sri Narasimha Swamiji write in his Sai literature about the life of Dattatreya Damodar Rasane alias Nana Sahib Rasane? We shall heed to these incredible Leelas in the coming episode. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.